Third Practice is a professional chamber vocal ensemble specializing in new music and its connection to music of the past. We use programming as a tool to associate older, more familiar pieces with newer works that share some sort of important salient element, whether it be text, whether it be something with a formal design, whether it be something just as simple as affect.
There's nothing like being in a performance space when that's happening. You are just completely overwhelmed. The sound just flows right over you and surrounds you.
It's just absolutely wonderful to see music like this and to know that it was composed by a human who dealt with the same problems that we deal with every day. To know that he was able to transcend those issues and come into an artistic space that allowed him access to that music. It really gives me hope to do the same.
They are performing a real chamber version of the piece in a sacred space that gives it historical relevance. And the music of the Monteverdi Vespers is truly splendid.
One of the really cool things about experiencing something that you've never experienced before, a piece of music that you've never experienced before, is that when you do it with a group of people, suddenly you have this shared experience of this piece of music at this one time and place that nobody else does.
It's not something that's old hat. It's something that lets you feel like, I really did something cool today, right? I listened to a thing I'd never heard before by a living, breathing composer, and it was, I don't know if I liked it, but it was really interesting. It made me feel something. Or I just saw this piece of artwork and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I just had this visceral reaction to it. And if people don't take those opportunities, how many things are they missing out on?
Experiencing a new piece of music is, for me, a particular joy because it's as if I've been given a gift. And I don't know, it's a wrapped gift. I don't know what's inside the box. I don't know what I'm going to hear.
I'm a composer writing a piece for Third Practice this term. The whole notion of art is that it exists in a society to show that society what it is. By performing music that's been written in the very recent past, mostly by peers or even by close friends, we get a sense of a culture that lives very close to home, that tells us something about ourselves that we can't learn from Mozart, that we can't learn from Haydn, or even from Buxtehude. From the great masters of the past, we get a good sense of technique. We get a great idea of what aesthetic can do when it reaches its greatest heights. But without living music, without music that's composed yesterday and performed a week from now, we begin to lose a sense of ourselves in the grandeur of the past.
In the past year or so, Third Practice has been incredibly lucky in its opportunities that it's been presented, in its ability to collaborate with some of the great artistic groups in the Washington, D.C. area. We've been able to premiere work of Sir John Tavener's alongside the City Choir of Washington. We've been able to work on Louis Andriesen's capstone project of the last several years, his mammoth oratorio La Commedia with great noise ensemble and the Children's Chorus of Washington. We've got a lot of great momentum behind us, and we've got a lot of great supporters, and with all that happening, we believe it's time to make the next step as an organization in order to grow farther as an ensemble, in order to present the sort of productions that we feel need to be presented in our area. We're asking you to be able to help us make this happen.